It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Cal Poly head women's golf coach, Sofie Aagaard. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm really excited for our conversation here.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to become a college women's golf coach?
Yeah, I would say it's almost an interesting story. I never thought during my playing career that I would end up being a coach, and especially not a college golf coach or an instructor of any kind. I was always very much into my own competition, and I really enjoy the competitive environment, high performing environment. And at a time when I was ending my professional career in competition, my mentor and my former college coach, we were always talking a lot. And she was one of the people I called, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Should I stop competing? What would come next? And it happened to be within the weeks that I was considering ending my professional career, her assistant coach left to take a head coaching job at a different school. So she was, hey, maybe you should come and take this seat next to me and see if you like college coaching. And I was like, why would you ask me? And then for some reason, she saw something in me that would contribute to the program, my alma mater at Cal. So I jumped on it and I was like, well, nothing else comes up, then I'll try that out. And I obviously enjoyed my first year there, and I did not realize how much I would appreciate and really enjoy the everyday life in this high performance environment, helping others to thrive and become their best selves.
What was your playing career like at Cal Berkeley?
Oh, some of the best years of my life. Highlights obviously include the team making it to nationals every year, finishing in the top 5 every year, being an All-American. Everything during those years were high performing. We were challenged in the classroom, we were challenged on the golf course within our team environment, and it obviously set me up to do what I do now with the great experience I had there.
What was it like, obviously, going to college and then obviously getting into professional golf?
I think so. I grew up in Sweden, where I started playing golf at the age of 10 or so, and I was competing early on, and I was with the Swedish National Team. And so through the kind of the stages of junior golf, amateur golf over in Sweden, college golf was an ideal stepping stone for anyone who wanted to pursue golf as a profession later on in life. Because back in Sweden, there's no sports within the universities. There's no college sports. It's very specific to the US. So early on, we were told by our coaches, instructors, and other people that have gone to play college golf, they're like, this is it. This is where you're really going to thrive and do your best thing. So coming over to the US and living the life of a college golfer, college athlete was amazing. And I think that really paved the path and really got me going into the professional life, because you're so focused every day on everything you do, right? So I think the college experience that I had really prepared me to be a successful professional as well.
What was it like playing for the LPGA Tour?
Oh, I guess I just said that the Cal experience as a college athlete was the highlight of my career, but playing as a professional, I truly enjoyed it. I think why I enjoyed it so much is because I love to travel and meet new people and be in challenging situations. And of course, being in competition at that level is very challenging. But the experiences I had traveling the world, mostly the US on the Symetra Tour, I mean, again, it's made me who I am today just by connecting with people, pushing myself, living a very tight schedule with training, with travel, with performance, and all that comes, full circle.
What was it like competing in the U.S. Women's Opening Championship?
Very fun. I still talk about my experiences back, it was 2010 and 2011. First at Oakmont in 2010, and then in 2011 in Colorado. Just incredible. The courses are set so incredibly tough, long. The grass, the rough is super thick. The greens are very firm and very fast. It pushes you on all levels as a competitor. It pushes you obviously on your skill set, on the shots that you're able to play, on the course management because of how the course is set up, and all of that along with the best golfers in the world. Just an incredible experience as a competitor.
Of course, what was it like going to the NCAA National Championship as a coach?
It was so fun to be at nationals as a coach, having experienced it as a player, so-called inside the ropes where the competition actually happens was one thing, but to be on the outside and then trying to support your team to the performance level that we wanted to see is a whole different thing. I think I really benefited from having the experience of having been there as a player myself, feeling the pressure, feeling the anxiety and nervousness and all that stuff. So with that, I could coach the players to using their tools that we train on a daily basis, just whether it is taking a deep breath over the ball so that you're calming down and understanding where you are and what you're about to do. It's so fun and it's so incredibly rewarding just to be there and support someone else to achieve something great.
What was it like, obviously, assisting the International Cup where you took the team to the Arnold Palmer Cup?
And that must be one of the highlights as a coach in my coaching career. I've had the great opportunity to be connected with the Arnold Palmer Cup. Over the last few years, I'm on the board or the group that selects the players for the international team, since I am an international player and coach. And so I've been involved for a little bit, and then I got the call from Dustin, and he asked if I would be willing to be the assistant coach. And then also last year I was the head coach for the team in the competition. An unbelievable experience because the Arnold Palmer Cup is a tournament between US born college players and internationally born university players. So we had on our team, we had male and female golfers from all over the world. And there were 4 coaches, 2 women coaches and 2 male coaches to have then the 12 women players and the 12 men players come together and play this match against the US team. The level of golf, of course, was incredible because it's the best amateurs of the world. And for them to come together, it was a co-ed match, which is not so often that you see in golf. So we had matches where a male and a female player would play as a pair against a man and woman from the US in a match play format over three days of competition and then a few days of practice beforehand. There's a great experience as a coach to be part of, again, their experience at the tournament, but then also to be someone there that helped them thrive in that moment.
How was it like, obviously, coaching the Harvest Farm tournament in 2021?
Yeah, so that was last year then when I was the head coach for the international team alongside JC Deacon, who is the coach down at Florida. And so the 2 of us were the head coaches, and we had 2 assistants too. So there were 4 coaches leading the international team. Just again, it's hard. It's almost hard to put to words the experience that we had and the connections we were able to make with the players in such a short time. But the greatest thing about that tournament, I think, was to see how our players were able to bond in just such a short time and then perform at such a high level together. They didn't know each other necessarily. They didn't grow up together. They played a little bit of college golf together, but to see their buy-in and get together as a team and then compete, it was really, really extraordinary.
Of course, what was it like becoming the head coach at Cal Poly?
It was really awesome. I had spent a few years as an assistant at my alma mater at Cal Berkeley, and the connection to Cal Poly is my husband is from this area. He actually is a graduate from Cal Poly. He didn't play any sports, but he was a graphic designer at Cal Poly, and so we have family in the area. And I used to live here in the area when I was playing professionally. And so when I retired from my professional career, took up the coaching deal, we moved up north to the San Francisco Bay Area for the job at Berkeley. And then when this position opened up and they were adding a women's coach, and I was like, wait, what a great opportunity. I know the area, I know the golf courses, I know a lot of the membership or the supporters of the university because I was down here as a golfer. And I knew the coach at the moment, and it was just kind of a perfect fit for us to move back into town here and start up the women's program and leading it.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you build upon with the women's golf program?
Yeah, so the culture that we have here, I think, is based on high performance and doing the best you can in every day. We talk about being 1% better every day, and over 100 days, you're 100% better. It sounds good. I know it doesn't add up so well, but I think when I started out, it was very important for me to make sure that we were working under the same umbrella, everyone on the team. So we had clear expectations. We had clear goals, and then just a mutual respect within the team. So we sat down and we talked about what do we want to achieve? What do we want to work towards? And with those kind of foundations in place, then everyone went to work and we started growing something really good. It's really exciting to see how the culture has developed. I've been here for 6 years now, and it takes a long time to build on those things because it's all about habits, it's all about values, it's all about character and all that stuff, right? And to fit into the same mold and to the same kind of goal structure. But it's really exciting what we got going here, and we've seen a tremendous progress over the last few years here. So we also have really exciting times coming ahead. So it's good stuff.
What are some of the things that you've accomplished in your 6 years at Cal Poly?
Oh, I think I'm going to see what my proudest moments. Of course, we have won 2 conference championships. This team program had never done that before, so that's super exciting. I think I'm most proud of just our everyday stuff that we do. This fall, when we had a end of fall team meeting and we were talking about where we're going, what's happening, how we can adjust, what to do better and stuff in the spring, something that came up was that this team has come to a place where there's very little complaining and there's more action. One of my proudest moments, absolutely, because I'm all about action and let's do something to improve what we got rather than complaining and venting and just making things miserable, right? And so I think that buys into the culture which you just asked about and how we have a high functioning, high level, just thriving group of people here. So that within the culture obviously is amazing. The two conference championships. We've made it postseason twice. And then also the academic standard of this team is really, really fantastic. We always have some players that are over a 3.5 each quarter. We have student athletes that are on the dean's list. We have all academic scholars, and those are the things that I look at will really set you up for the future. Yes, we train golf and we're learning a lot of life lessons through that, but then also we're getting a really good degree for the student athletes here at Cal Poly. So there's lots to be proud of.
What does a typical golf meet look like?
In golf, we play tournaments, and normally it's between 12 and say 16 teams that meet up. We have a tournament together. Each team has 5 players playing, and for each round of golf that we play, we count the 4 best scores out of the 5 players. Every tournament is usually 54 holes, so it's 3 rounds of golf. It can vary from being a 3-day tournament where we play 1 round of 18 each day, or we play the first day would be a 36-hole day where we play 2 rounds, followed by the final round on the second day. We do have the team aspect obviously in there, like I said, 4 out of 5 scores, and then you add it all up at the end. But there's also an individual performance within it, so you have an individual winner of the tournament.
What is it like, obviously, during the tournament, being an all-day tournament? So you'll be there, let's say, 10 a.m. to around like 6-ish.
We start very early. We usually start at sunrise to warm up. So we would be at the golf course sometime around 6:30 or 7 in the morning. If we play 36 holes, 2 rounds of golf that first day, then we usually tee off at 8 o'clock. Everyone is on the golf course by 8 o'clock, and then we play continuously 2 rounds, and it usually takes somewhere between 9 and 10 hours. So if we start at 8, we'll be done sometime between 4 and 5 in the afternoon, a little bit of cool down and stretch. So you're right, we leave around 6 o'clock, but we start even earlier, around 7 a.m. So it's a busy day. You literally have your lunch while you're competing.
Of course, who are some of the teams that you face in your conference?
So we're part of the Big West Conference here on the West Coast. We have, let's see, from north to south, it would be UC Davis, CSU Bakersfield, ourselves, Cal Poly, Hawaii is in our conference, Northridge, Riverside, UC Irvine, Fullerton, and Long Beach. So 9 schools.
Was it like, obviously, competing against those teams like Long Beach?
It's great. I think we, over time we see each other during the season so many times. We've built up a lot of great camaraderie within, with the coaching staff and stuff like that, and our players get to know each other. It's a competitive conference. It always comes down to the conference championship, which is really exciting. It's going to be in April, and this year we're hosting it at San Luis Obispo Country Club. Over the last few years, we've been up in the top 3 and eyeing to win there in the conference championship. But so has Long Beach. Long Beach is a very strong program. And so UC Davis is a strong program, and Hawaii has been really good in the last few years. So we got great competition for the conference championship here coming up.
What is it going to feel like, obviously, to hoist the tournament at home?
Hosting the tournament can be good, mostly good, I'd say, because we would have a slight advantage having a tournament at our home course, at a course that we play quite often, where we know the layout of the course, we know the greens and a lot of the grass quality and all that stuff during play. So that would be the great positive, the advantage of knowing the course. The challenge sometimes that we as coaches coach our players through and try to work through is sometimes the pressure that you can put on yourself because you are at home. You might have more supporters come out and watch your team play and wish for you to win and perform well. And that can sometimes be challenging for the players to feel that extra pressure. So good and bad. I think we are really excited about hosting here because the course is spectacular. It's going to set up really well for our championship, and we have some great supporters that we're going to use to an advantage by feeling their support and really go out there and do our best.
What's it like, obviously, playing those non-conference teams and those teams that you don't play usually, like UCLA and Hawaii?
Yeah, so in golf, like you said, we don't do much conference play. We do, of course, for our conference championship and some tournaments during the season when we compete in the fall as well in the spring. Golf is a little bit different. So we have then, like I said, tournaments with a 12 to 16 teams or something like that, where usually it's by invite. So when for example, we're co-hosting a tournament with Bakersfield in a few weeks, then we send out invites to teams that we would like to have come compete with us. And it can be from any conference, from any place in the country that will come and play. And so for you to have a good ranking in golf, for example, obviously it means that you're playing against some good teams. So you try to build a schedule with quite good balance, where there are some top teams like you just mentioned, like the UCLAs of the world, some of the Pac-12, Big Ten schools, so that you boost your field and so that you can move up in the rankings. Absolutely.
Is the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes that are looking to be golfers in college?
I love recruiting. I think it's super exciting because we, as coaches, we are being able to provide literally provide a dream for a student athlete to come and play for us and study here at Cal Poly. I truly enjoy getting to know the recruits every year when we look into a new class. The recruiting process is from my side is fairly detailed and rigorous. I go out to tournaments, to junior tournaments, and watch the juniors compete and play. I talk to them on the phone quite regularly. I follow their performances. Most junior tournaments are listed online with results and how they do and rankings and all that stuff. There's lots of emailing. At some point, usually you also are invited to an unofficial or an official visit to the campus where they get to meet the team, get to meet some of our support staff, and it might be our academic advisor, our strength and conditioning coach, myself, of course. I spend a lot of time with our recruits to make sure that it is the right fit for our program. And so it's a lot, and I think it's very important. Like I think we get to come back to the culture again, right? For us to continue to thrive and to continue to build on the positive and the good culture that we do have. It's very important that I spend a lot of time in the recruiting process to add the players that we think could continue to build and thrive on this program.
Of course, what are some of the things that you look at in these prospective student athletes when you go out to see them?
Of course, the quality of golf. That you can't ever look past that, right? So it's for you to be a strong recruit for us. Of course, you got to be a strong junior golfer. What's also very important is your academics, that you have a solid GPA, that you take your academics seriously. Cal Poly is a very strong academic university, and it's important that you are strong with your academics, because I think for you to balance Division I college sports, to be able to handle our rigorous practice schedule, all our travel and competition, along with the high academics, you need to be a good student. So you know how to balance the two and when to put the time in on each of them. Character is very important. Who you are as a person, what you would bring to the team. And then of course, how we could also, not just what you would bring to the team, but what we would be able to support you with, and to see you fit into our kind of puzzle and see everything just rise.
Of course, when they are on the official visit, does the official visit look like for them as prospective student athletes?
Yeah, so under the NCAA rules, we are limited to 48 hours when we have an official visitor on campus. What that usually looks like, well, we show off, of course, all our great stuff that we have here at Cal Poly. We'll spend a lot of time at our Mustang Golf Academy, where we have our offices and our training facility. You'll spend a lot of time with the team. That's a very important component to me, that the team and the prospective student athlete would meet and hang out and see how that all fits. Then we'll do a campus visit. You'll meet with our support staff to ask all the questions, to make sure that we have the academics that you are looking for as a college student athlete, right? Not everyone might find the major that they want, so we're making sure that we have the support in that. And then we show off the area. San Luis Obispo is a beautiful town. It's a smaller community. It's a total college town with a really nice downtown. The beaches are only about 10 minutes from campus, so we probably will make a trip to the beaches too and show that off. And we have beautiful outdoors living and all that stuff. So it's a good mix of everything. And I think the way I look at it, we want to show you what the lifestyle would be at Cal Poly, and it would then, of course, then include the golf part, the academic part, college life, being around the team, but then also the community that we're surrounded by and the great outdoors.
What advice would you give those high school women's golfers that are looking to be college women golfers?
The best advice I can give any prospective student athlete, a junior golfer out there, get in contact with coaches, send them emails, send them videos, be the one to initiate contact. Don't have your parents do it. You email the coaches, you call the coaches, you text the coaches, reach out, show the interest. That really, really excites us. I think on this side of the table to see who's really interested. Do your research on the school, do your research on the coach, as well as the team, so that you know what you're getting yourself into. Reach high. You never know who has a spot for you on their team. Send that email and call that person at your dream school. If you don't ask, you're not going to know. If you get a no, okay, well, try again, maybe, see, leave it later, ask again and see if something else has changed. Maybe you do get a yes, maybe you do get to go and visit that dream school. Don't limit yourself and where you want to go.
What advice would you give those college players that are looking to go into the professional, whether it's the LPG or other routes?
Yeah, follow your dream. That's what I would say. Make sure you know what your dream is and why you do it. It is not easy. Be ready for the struggle and the grind. I think the most important thing is for you to love the game. If you don't love the game, it's going to be very hard to put in the time and the effort to do what needs to be done to be at the level and be a competitive LPGA player.
What advice would you give those future college women golfers that are looking to get into college coaching?
Reach out to coaches. Connect with those who are in the business. Connect with those who have done what you want to do. Get a mentor. Reach out to your former college coach if that was someone that was a great coach to you. Honestly, if someone emails me and wants to ask me questions about coaching, I'll jump on it right away. It is just very rare that I get a connection or someone that emails or calls me. I'm all for it. Reach out, ask the questions. And just keep going. And it might, the beginning of your career might be as a volunteer coach or a part-time assistant or a full-time assistant. Whatever it is, go in, full throttle. But again, I think it's very important to ask questions, to be open to coaching for yourself, because it's literally a job that I think we can learn so much from each other and from others in the business who have been there and who have done it. So connect with people.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the Cal Poly Women's Golf Program at?
Yeah, so on social media, I have a very low profile. I'm not very active on social media. We do have a Cal Poly Women's Golf account on Instagram. I also on Twitter. I do have a personal account on Twitter as well. It's very rare that I do post something. I'm more an in-person person. I like to engage with people on a one-on-one basis, whether it's on a phone call, email, and so on. My information is listed on the gopoly.com website under staff directory, women's golf.
Thank you again, Coach Sofie Aagaard, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the women's golf program at Cal Poly.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Sofie, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.